Shifting focus to Lebanon, where Army Chief Joseph Aoun, who is a US-backed Army Chief, is going to be Lebanon's next president, ending a years-long political logjam and the presidential vacuum. Lebanon's parliament voted its president after 2 rounds of voting, close on the heels of major push by Saudi Arabia and United States, rallying lot of support for Aoun. Aoun is known to be close to Washington and Riyadh, and prior to his Thursday's parliamentary sessions, there were at least 12 failed attempts to elect a president in Lebanon over the last 2 years. Ayushi Bhatnagar gets us more.
After 12 failed attempts in a span of over 2 years, Lebanon has finally elected its president. In a parliament meeting on Thursday, Lebanon's army chief, Joseph Aoun, was voted as the new head of state, filling a post that has been vacant since Michel Aoun's term ended in October 2023. With 99 out of 128 votes, after failing to get a required majority in a first round earlier in the day, Aoun became the 5th Lebanese army commander to be elected as president in Lebanon's history. He effectively stepped down from his military role before taking oath. The legislative session was the result of a mounting international pressure for a successful outcome, with just 17 days remaining in a ceasefire to deploy Lebanese troops alongside UN peacekeepers in South Lebanon. The outcome reflected a shift in the power balance in Lebanon and the wider West Asia, with Hezbollah badly jolted by conflict with Israel and its Syrian ally Bashar al-Assad toppled in December. So, who is Joseph Aoun? General Joseph Aoun, 60 years old, has been commander of the US-backed Lebanese army since 2017. He led the military even during the times of a devastating financial crisis after the banking system collapsed in 2019. In 1983, he was enrolled in the army during Lebanon's civil war. On Aoun's watch, US aid continued to flow to the army to curb the influence of Hezbollah. Aoun has a key role in shoring up a 60-day ceasefire brokered by Washington and Paris in November. Shortly after his appointment as commander, the army executed an offensive to clear militants from an enclave at the Syrian border, drawing praise from the then US ambassador. In his first speech after being elected as the president, Joseph Aoun expressed his willingness to re-establish relations with Syria. He also vowed to rebuild all that has been destroyed by Israel in Beirut during the conflict. He also said he will work to ensure the state has the exclusive right to carry arms.
My pledge is to exercise my role as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and Chairman of the Supreme Defense Council, that I work through them to ensure that the right to carry arms is exclusive to the state. My pledge is to rebuild what the Israeli aggression destroyed in the south, Bekaa, Denia, and all parts of Lebanon.
Iran's embassy in Beirut welcomed on Thursday the election of Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, expressing hopes for close cooperation between the two countries. But what led to the delay in electing a president? Lebanon's sectarian power-sharing system often leads to political deadlocks, with several prolonged presidential vacancies. The presidency, reserved for Maronite Christian, requires cross-sectarian consensus, which has been difficult to achieve. Deep polarization exists between Hezbollah-aligned bloc and the anti-Hezbollah factions. The requirement for a two-thirds quorum in parliament makes it challenging to elect a president without broad consensus. Lebanon is 6 years into an economic and financial crisis that decimated the country's currency and wiped out the savings of many Lebanese. But will the newly elected president be able to face these daunting challenges, apart from implementing the ceasefire agreement, remains a question.